Welcome, everybody. For those of you that are new to meeting me, my name is Cathi Nelson. I'm the CEO and founder of the Photo Managers, and I'm thrilled to welcome you today to this presentation. We do this every month, and I always say I like to change it up. So today we have two guests that I'm excited to. I asked one of our newer members and then one of our more experienced members to join. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen and take you to a PowerPoint. Please put your questions in the chat. We will leave plenty of time. We'll answer all your questions at the end. So, and if you have no questions, I can anticipate the questions that you're not asking because I've done this so many times. I know what people may not even know they want to know. So I will assist as well. So again, I mentioned my name is Cathi Nelson, and I'm the author also of two books, Photo Organizing Made Easy, going from overwhelmed to overjoyed, and a business roadmap for professional photo managers. But more importantly than that, I'm passionate about helping people tell their family stories through their photos, videos, and meaningful keepsake items. And I'm excited to share with you today the earning potentials and business growth opportunities in photo management, the key services that clients are looking for and need today, how you can build a successful business, whether it's part-time, full-time, as a side, second act career. There's all different ways that people join the photo managers and some of the skills needed. And then also the different levels of membership that we have. So if you're excited about maybe making a career shift or adding something new to your life, into your business, then you're in the right place. And again, at the end, I was just joking with my staff here that we always offer a special deal. We've learned as humans, we really like to respond to special offers. So we do have a great offer for you, and it's timed so that we can help you make a decision if you need a little push. So let's just start. Before I jump in, I want to start with the why. Why is there, I love to root us in the why this business is so important and why there's a need for professional photo managers. If you're thinking about managing your own photos and organizing your own photos of business, why is that, right? Or why are other people hiring somebody? I often tell people that the idea of organizing photos is like watching paint dry. It's not very exciting, and but it's not the why. The why is because in each of those photos is a story. It's a memory, it's a connection, it's a feeling, it's historical information, and so much more. In those videos, same things, right? In those letters. And so we call ourselves professional photo managers, but really we touch on all aspects of people's lives that are things that they care deeply about and that are meaningful items. We take photos and videos to tell the stories of our lives. We save our kids' artwork, baby's first shoes, a favorite blanket, your grandmother's favorite teapot, because they connect us to our history, our families, and our memories. But today, I'm sure you can relate, we just have way too many of them. We have way too many analog printed photos, slides and negatives from the past, trapped in fading albums or boxes and bins. We have old home movies on formats that we can't view any longer. Like who on here has a VCR or a camcorder? And our digital collections, I mean, it's just a mess, right? It's impossible not to be. We just snap photos. How many photos have you already taken today right on your phone, right? Nobody wants to go through all those photos to find the few that matter. And that is what professional photos managers do for their clients. Or if you're doing this, to do it for yourself. So if you're ready to get started, first I want to introduce you to two of our members who will share a little bit about their success from 2024. One has just gotten started and is new to her business, and the other is an experienced professional. So first up, and she's already there off mute, is Katie. She owns Sincerely Kept Photo Organizing. And so Katie, why don't you just tell us a little bit about your background before you became a professional photo manager? And then what were your highlights from this past year?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. As Cathi said, I'm Katie Borsi of Sincerely Kept, and I'm based in Cleveland, Ohio. So I guess a little bit about me is that I adore telling stories and hearing stories, and I just love going just one layer deeper on every story I hear. So if that resonates, you are completely in the right place. But before now, I worked in relationship management in the audiobook industry, and that is where I worked and supported some of the largest audiobook providers in the world, like Audible, Apple, Barnes and Noble. And I ended up working at Spotify, which was an incredible career. But my real photo management story started with my dad back in the 90s, where he digitized photos and videos back in the 90s and made slideshows for my brother and I. And fast forward, I ended up doing a little bit of photo management myself in high school, where I made videos for my friends as we were graduating from high school. So I almost started this business many times between then and now. I loved doing it so much when I was in high school. I love the feeling of seeing their faces and like the tears as they see their life happening before their eyes, like after showing them the finished product. And so I always wanted to get back to it, but I never felt like I had the, support I needed or the knowledge or the time to like really get a whole process together. So when I discovered the photo managers, I was so excited and it was a massive aha moment. And I don't think I would have taken the leap without them. The photo managers has given me so much support and knowledge and encouragement. I needed to go from it. There's a professional community of people all around the country and all around the world that are doing this. And they're all the kindest people on planet Earth and just people with the warmest hearts. And I guess my highlight from this year is starting my business. It's been a long journey, long days, being really frustrated trying to find answers, but the Photo Managers has been a terrific place to start. And, I've just gotten so much encouragement over the process. So thank you, Cathi, for inviting me here today.
Thank you, Katie. And also, one last thing, and Katie just became a certified, so that's a big achievement for her. And then you also came to conference right away, right? And what was your experience jumping in and saying yes to conference?
I discovered that the conference was in Columbus, so I was up in Cleveland. So I was like, oh my gosh, this was absolutely perfect. So I went to the Columbus conference this past year, and it was an absolutely incredible experience. It was really a crash course into what my job was going to be like. So I really got into the nitty-gritty with a lot of people, and seeing people and meeting people in person was everything. I mean, I'm in relationship management and just work at my previous work, and being in person is so different than being online. So it was incredible meeting everyone in person, and it just really kickstarted my confidence and everything I needed in order to start my business. But what really got me, that really hit home, was that I'm not a person I am really shy. I get really shy going into a room full of people I don't know, but everyone was so welcoming. It was like shocking to me how welcomed I felt in that room and how much I felt like I belonged, that these were my people, the people that like going one layer deeper and understanding and helping others. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I know you're signed up for San Diego. So for those of you, we do an annual educational conference. We move it around the country. So we were in Cleveland or in Columbus, which was mid country. We'll be in San Diego. And then next week I'm traveling to a couple different cities on the East Coast, Boston and Philadelphia. That part of the country will move it in 2026. So we try to move it around so that different people don't have to travel as far. So thanks for that little testimonial as well. And so next up, I wanted to bring a very experienced member. Bruce Holroyd has been a longtime member. He's also on our advisory board. He is a wealth of information and experience. He's the owner of Digital Scan Solutions and is a great asset to the community because he knows so much about technology and things. So Bruce, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and what are your highlights of 2024?
Hi, good day, everyone. Yes, my name is Bruce Holroyd. I reside in Anacortes, Washington State, which is about halfway between Seattle and Vancouver, British Columbia. Prior to moving here about 4.5 years ago, we lived in Rochester, New York, and most of you probably know that is the home to Eastman Kodak Company. And yes, I was a Kodak employee for many years, actually 33 years, prior to starting my business. Back up a little bit, growing up, my dad, I was a third generation Kodak employee. My dad was also a long-term employee. And in our basement, we had a dark room that we copied photographically old family photographs, as my father was very much into tracing our family tree, trying to find our roots going back to England and Sweden. And he would borrow prints from relatives, and we would copy them on in our dark room in our basement. and, develop the film and print them right there. So that got me interested in the photography way back in actually pre-teenage years. Moving forward, after college, I joined Eastman Kodak Company and had a successful 33 plus year career there. Much of it spent with micrographic systems, and then we moved into management of the photo scanning systems that Kodak at one time had. These were the very successful Kodak photo scanners, the S1220, the PS410, 810, and finally the 50 and 80. I was the worldwide product manager and project manager for these projects. So I got to know a lot of the users, being a home user that would buy it to scan their own photos, or being service bureaus, much like a lot of us are, using it in their business every day to scan their customers' photos. A opportunity came to take early retirement from Kodak, and I jumped at it so I could start my own scanning business. As I saw a big need for it and a desire to take my career in a different direction. So in 2016, I retired from Kodak. Actually, it was Kodak Alaris at that point, and started my own business, Digital Scan Solutions, in Rochester, New York, and was very successful with it over the first 4 years in Rochester. And my wife and I decided to pack up and get out of the 100 inches of snow that typically Rochester would get every winter, and the 90 degrees summers, heat and humidity, and move out west. So we landed here in Washington State and loving it. And I reestablished the business out here, and it's been going very well. So I've sort of like started a business in a way you can think of it twice, although it's still the same business. It's just been relocated, and I'm still getting to this day customers, repeat customers from when we were back in Rochester. So it just keeps on coming. As far as this year, it's been a it's been my best year ever with the business. It just keeps on growing, and as you complete more projects with your customers, the word of mouth gets around even more, so that brings in more customers to you. It's just incredible where people are hearing about you and things like that. So it's been great. And one of my pleasures I get out of this business, especially doing it through the photo managers, is helping other photo managers out with issues and problems and learnings that they are having. I spent my entire career in digital imaging with Kodak in my business, and it's always great to give back what you've learned from others.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Bruce, you're wonderful at helping with that. And just out of curiosity, I'll just ask this one last question. What would you say the majority of your business is? It scanning photos, or is it home movie conversion, or is it, I mean, just do you know which piece of it, or is it all of
It's
that?
pretty even. This year, I had one project of a customer with 66 photo albums, and I just completed another project with another customer of 5,000 photos. I had another one earlier this year of 7,500 photos, I believe it was. I just completed two large movie conversions of one was 68 rolls of 8mm movie film. Another was like 125 or something like that. It's pretty much spread across the gamut, and also a lot of slides too. So I'd say it's pretty even at this point.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank you, Bruce. So those of you, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat, and we'll make sure that we have plenty of time to answer your questions at the end. So I want to continue on now. So it's helpful to hear from actual members. So this next thing, there are so many diverse services that photo managers may or may not offer. And we always say, do what you love and outsource the rest. You really become a project manager when you take on photo organizing, because you're asked to do so many different projects. Whether it's photo book design, some of our members only do photo book design, and they will outsource their home movie conversion or scanning probably to somebody like Bruce, or maybe, you know, a member that does that. Some members only do digital photo organizing. Members have become coaches. They do photo curating, photo restoration. Legacy storytelling is becoming a growing piece of many people's business. Backing up, scanning letters and kids' artwork, creating photo montages, a little bit of what Katie mentioned that she loved doing with her kids, and I mean with her friends and things. And I think one of her first jobs that she just got recently was that. Memorial boards for funerals, right? The list is endless and it grows and grows, which is why actually we just did a report. We surveyed our members this last year. We will be doing it again in January, and 80% of them reported repeat clients. And as Bruce just mentioned, that as your business continue, you know, over long term, you're going to find a lot of your clients are going to come back to you, because guess what? We keep taking photos and life keeps happening. Babies are born, marriages happen, retirements happen. You know, people get diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's, or, you know, different kind of chronic illnesses and things like that. All these are moments in people's lives when they suddenly realize, like, wow, those photos, videos, I need to get those stories and things. So through joining the photo managers, you'll learn how to price your services and create packages as you determine what you want to do. And you'll learn that really from the community. So the questions that we get asked over and over again is, how can I start my own business for photo organizers when my own photos aren't organized? The truth is, you can start your business without your own photos being organized. Plus, starting a business, honestly, is a lot more than just organizing photos. It's about pricing your services. It's about marketing. It's creating workflows. It's setting yourself up for success. Sometimes members will join and they decide they want to get their own photos organized, and they become their own first clients. And that's not unusual as either. So there is a way for you to decide, do you want to join as a photo manager in training or as a professional photo manager? And so these questions will help you answer that. Take a moment to think about true or false. My own photos aren't organized, but I know I want to start a business helping families and businesses tell their stories with their photos, videos, and keepsake items. I am unsure if I want to start a business, but I do want to get my own photos organized so I can share my family stories. I already have a business and I want to add photo organizing as a service, but I need training in pricing, workflows, and operations. I'm looking to earn additional income part-time or full-time doing work that is meaningful and creative. And 5, I feel better knowing everything first before I'm comfortable telling people about what I do. If your answers were mostly true, then you're a perfect fit to join our professional community. If your answers were false, then you belong in our photo manager and training program. And if your answers were maybe, the year-long photo manager training program could be a way to help you decide, and you can upgrade at any point to any of our, you can upgrade to the other level, and we prorate your membership so you're not double paying. We even have a spreadsheet that we have to keep track of. So if, like, you know, 3 months into the photo manager training, you want to upgrade, we can look at our little spreadsheet and just charge you the difference of what you already paid. So just to explain a little bit more about what is our photo manager in training, that is a 1-year guided curriculum that includes on-demand courses on printed and digital photo organizing and scanning, access to 22 of our skill building webinars, some monthly email prompts, some virtual work groups, and a monthly networking meetings to support you if you decide you want to upgrade it. So again, here's a list of the different things that we include. The cost to join that is $299 for 1 year, but we are increasing our membership fees by a small percentage because, like everybody, everything is going up. So we will increase to $329 a year. So it's going to go up $29 on January 1st. So again, some additional things that come with that is we have monthly online co-working events that are actually chaired by professional photo managers. So if you have questions or you want to just talk to other people, you can, you know, get online every month and have somebody to talk to and ask questions. I mentioned we have a deep training library. It's much smaller than what our professionals have, but we have, you know, how to dedupe your photos, thinking about, do you need insurance, some of the best practices for digital organizing workflows, archival science products and practices, so that you're gaining the skills for your own photos, and then also if you're going to upgrade. We also have we unlock a few of our access to discounts and deals from some of our industry partners that are interested in working with you. So we make sure that this is a great advantage. Like Archival Methods gives our members a 40% retail, instead of, you take like anywhere from 30 to 40% off retail, and other companies like that are listed here do the same. So that's kind of what you get as the at the photo manager training. Now, our professional level is much more involved, and it has significantly more training. Plus, we include professional certification. Now I threw this in here because I want to you to resist the temptation to think that you're not qualified to start your business before you know everything, because you won't. There's no reason you can't start with just one client, whether it's a friend, a family member, or somebody just says, I need you. You'll build more confidence by doing the work than watching every class or reading every post that we have on our Facebook page. Could you research how to export? Could people research how to export photos from their Apple library, or how to scan slides or eliminate duplicates? Of course, but they're going to be paying you to figure that out for them. Could you watch a YouTube video on how to tile a kitchen floor or do your taxes or make a gourmet meal? Yes, but do you? Maybe some of those things you do, but if not, you're going to pay somebody to do it for you. I want to express that because many of our membership community, as it's grown, we've seen new members come in and they get kind of panicky and they almost get this imposter syndrome. But we all started at square one at some point, and we have, like Bruce mentioned, we have this amazing community that can help you, and so you're not alone in the process of where you are. So our membership fee, it's $175 a quarter or $599 a year, and that's also increasing a bit to $648 a year or $195 a quarter in January 1st. So essentially what we have is what we call our business in a box. We don't really send you a box, but essentially we have what we call our 5 core principles that we give to our members. We give you a core foundation, which is education. We give you credibility, community, competency, and collaboration. Our core value is that a rising tide lifts all boats, and we're collaborative, not competitive. So the first piece is education. This is one of our core values. It includes monthly training webinars with subject matter experts on every topic you can imagine. For instance, most recently, we did the new iOS update for photos explained by one of our key members who's like he's our Apple genius, Paul. We knew when Apple was going to be updating their photos that we needed, as members, you needed to be understand what's happening if your clients are asking, how safe are your photos? Debunking myths around photo privacy. What is metadata? How to use it? Plus, you get your core curriculum courses that are just included. How to organize your clients' printed photos, the building blocks of digital photo organizing basics, how safe are your photos? I mentioned that already. And let's see, how to scan photos, slides, and negatives, and a business building foundation course. If you've never had a business, which most people haven't, then there's basic things that we're going to talk to you a lot about, like whether you set yourself up as an LLC, how do you collect money, how do you know how much to charge, how do you find clients, all the basics of really being in business. The other key foundation is community. Our overall philosophy, like I mentioned, is a rising tide lifts all boats, and we build community through many different ways. We build it through regional meetings. You'll immediately be connected to your regional host, and they're divided by either, we have our Europe group, we have our Australia group, we have then different parts of the country. Bruce is part of that. They meet once a month. We have a private Facebook group, which is like a 24-hour support hotline. We have monthly roundtable conversations, and we just have an amazing community of people that really enjoy helping each other. And in the last year, we've created a group mentoring program where you'll be teamed up with 4 to 5 other new members, and you'll meet with a pro 6 times over a 3-month time period. The goal is for you to continue then to work with that small group for accountability and support. So that's something that's just gotten started, and it's going very, very well, and we're excited to continue that. Certification is really an important part of the value of being a photo manager. Certification is, we are actually updating our certification significantly right now. We don't teach you how to do photo organizing. We teach you best practices and industry standards. So it doesn't take you long to go through that kind of training. What takes longer is to complete a project from start to finish, where you document that process. And we know the ways that we're asking you to document, like how often are you in touch with your client? How are you communicating? And you're sharing all that with us, because we know that if you follow best practices, you'll have a much happier client. And then we also check your references, and then you have an interview with me. At that point, you become certified. You now are added to our search directory, and you'll be able to post on your website that you're a certified member. We also have significantly more partners and discounts that we offer through our professional level, and we have new companies joining all the time. What's been really interesting is the opportunity for you to beta test new projects. If you're kind of like a geeky person and you like I'm actually in contact with a really interesting company right now out of Russia, which is fascinating, a digital software program that's actually not cloud-based, it's license-based, and it's not even a subscription model. And we'll probably, he's going to give us 5 licenses. I'll be putting out an email to our member community asking who wants to beta test it to see what they think about it. So that happens all the time. So if you enjoy those kind of things, we are kind of have become the place where major companies and startups and things come to us to help us understand what the consumer needs, and then we give a lot of feedback and stuff. So if you enjoy that, there's lots of opportunities to do that. Now, since we're 2 weeks from January, I did want you to know that we are adding a new membership level, a 3rd level, based on feedback from members. So this is new. I bet you Katie and Bruce might probably knows because he's on the advisory board, but Katie would know. And most members probably aren't going to pay that much attention because they're members already. But we realized that we needed to add another level of membership. So we're going to have our photo manager in training, our Pro membership, then this more expensive Pro Plus membership, because it's going to include our new updated certification, but also a 6-part video course of tutorials and workbooks that teach you how to do a deep dive into organizing digital photos using both Mac and PC. It's been something that people have really wanted. We've partnered with one of our members who has an amazing program on this. This price would be a 1-year fee, and then you would drop back down to your regular membership rate. That doesn't happen until January 1st, but I just wanted to let you know that that was coming. But for now, if you're interested in joining as a member right now, take advantage of our 2024 pricing. I mentioned that we do have a special offer. So if you join between now and I think December, we say the 31st, but we wanted to update that to the 20th because we figure you're all busy during that time after during the holiday season. We have an updated privacy advocacy. We have an amazing privacy advocate training course that's taught by us ex-CIA expert. It's been life-changing for many of us. It's really important to understand privacy, different issues around that. And so that's included. And we always give our newest members $50 off our 2025 conference registration, which we will be doing both in person and virtually. It'll be in May. It's going to be called a watch party. And so all the breakouts if you join virtually, you'll have access to all the breakouts, but you can join and watch them live with other members over a 1.5-day time period. And if you're interested in joining the photo manager in training, we'll enter you to win a Nix Play digital photo frame, which is valued at over $249. So those are things that you can, those are the incentives if you join between now and December 20th. Last of all, we have been working really hard on growing our YouTube channel, which is an amazing place for you to watch what we have, career advice from a pro. So we have interviewed for the past 3 years. Every month I interview, just kind of like what I just did with Bruce and Katie. We interview members. I ask them the same 5 questions. So that's a great place if you want to go hear from other members. We also have lots of training topics and things. And so we would love to have you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hopefully we drop that in the chat. And so now I'm going to come off. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And let's see if, Mary, if you want to read out questions, have people added questions?
Sure.
Excuse me, to the chat?
One of the questions we were asked was, how do you know how much to charge for your projects?
That's a great question. And I could ask Katie or Bruce to jump in, but I'll jump in to just get started. We recommend that, first of all, that you set an hourly fee based on what is the average hourly fee of a professional service provider where you live. So that's really important because different parts of the country, I live in Connecticut and we actually have what we call the Gold Coast, which is right on the New York City line. Though down there, I'm sure they're like $175, probably an hour would be a normal like service provider charge. Where I am, it might be more like $90 to $225 an hour. You want to start at setting your price at a professional level, and from there building packages. A lot of our members also charge a per photo, per scan photo price, or also tape conversion price, and then scale it based on numbers and things. So Bruce, I'm going to ask you quickly, like, how do you determine your pricing?
I do a lot of research on not everyone, but a lot of people, large box companies, photo managers, and all that to come up with my pricing, and look at the pricing specifically in my area and the whole country, and then come up with that game.
A lot of our members too, we believe that we're a white glove service. I know my son does this full time actually here in Connecticut near me, and he'll joke, well, he's kind of got this line, we're not Spirit Airlines, or, it's really important when you're comparing pricing, especially at those bigger box stores. a lot of times, especially on scanning, if you really then dig in, oh, but you want your photos scanned at like 600 DPI, oh, the price goes up. Or you want them, you want them in a folder structure, oh, the price goes up. So that pricing that you see initially on some of those things is really kind of is misleading in a way. Katie, how about you? Just how you determine your pricing?
So it's a lot of what Cathi just said, and there's a lot of discussion in the photo managers on how do you price things, and it's all the things Cathi just mentioned. But for me, what I landed on to get started is that hourly rate, and then I also do a per scan. So the customer isn't dependent on how quickly I can scan their item. So I do per scan, and then everything else is hourly. But I know that as I get more data on how quickly I can do things and I optimize myself better, I may consider packages in the future because I know that's what a lot of other members do. But yeah, it's really just a learning curve and taking a look at how how you could price yourself. Another thing I did to decide my hourly rate is I actually ended up looking up some home organizers in my area because it's a very comparable service, and anyone who would pay for a home organizer may pay for a photo organizer. And then I decided from there that's what I was going to do.
Great, thank you.
Okay, we actually had another question that was asking, has anybody tried merging the photo side of the business with genealogy research? And I know that we do have that, some of the courses related to that.
Yeah, yes, that is that's a growing piece of it. So that's what I mentioned in the beginning. There's so many different niches that people will that go down. So we do have members that are really passionate about genealogy. We'll be speaking at Roots Tech again. It'll be my 4th or 5th year. I'll be at Roots Tech which is the largest genealogy conference in the world. If you don't know about it, it's in Salt Lake City in March. And so again, it's just a matter of doing what you love and outsourcing the rest, right? So, and then finding a way to do genealogy research for people. The legacy piece, we do have a new certification program called a legacy advocate, where because there's been such a growing desire and interest from consumers, especially the baby boomer generation, to have their legacy story told, and also that kind of genealogy piece. So we're providing more training, and we're bringing in more guest experts and outside experts who really understand that field to help with that. So that is definitely a growing interest and need.
Another question we had was, what's your go-to equipment that's absolutely necessary to use in your projects?
That's going to vary quite a bit based on what it is that you're, what kind of work that you're doing. I think if you're going to start with scanning, most of our members, now Bruce will be interesting because I know the Epson Fast Photo, unfortunately, it's not the best. It's not a workhorse. It does have some issues. You need to keep it really clean, but it is a feeder scanner, and we believe a basic good flatbed scanner to start. A lot of our members do upgrade to camera scanning once they realize they have the business model, and there can be a learning curve if you're not a professional photographer to do that. But and then other than that, having a really good computer, with that's able to can work with you more quickly. But Bruce, why don't you answer that question quickly? And then Katie as well, what did you guys invest in?
Yeah, in my business, since I've covered the gamut, just one piece of equipment doesn't cover everything. Yes, you can buy like flatbed scanners like an Epson 600 or 860 that will do prints and slides and negatives and things like that, but it doesn't do movies or videotapes and things like that. So depends on what you're going to specialize in, is what the type of equipment you're going to need. I've got various equipment. I do have flatbed scanners. I do camera scanning for both slides and negatives, although not in the traditional camera scanning with the camera sitting up on a tripod, looking down at the image. I have some of the equipment that's out there from ScanSnap or SlideSnap for slide scanning and negative scanning, a fast way to move the slides and negatives through the system. For movies, I have equipment from very expensive equipment from a company that is now gone out of business, unfortunately. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that everything is going to keep working with it and we can get replacement parts as needed. The company was movie stuff, and which can do both regular 8, Super 8, and 16mm movies. As far as videos, they're not making any new VHS or 8mm camcorders, any of that any longer. So you've got to find good working equipment on eBay or estate sales, things like that, to be able to convert pieces like that. So it's runs the gamut, and also having a good computer, fast computer for your processing, especially with movies. Movies are quite large, and it takes quite a while for them to process. A lot of times overnight, I'm processing movies because it takes so long to process it. So having a good speed computer, plenty of memory, backup drives and all that is essential for this business.
And completely agree that, all that like a lot of the basic things like external hard drives and having like good backup storage system and a fast computer is really important. I guess one niche thing I'll mention is that I didn't quite understand before I joined the photo managers is how important it is to keep photos clean. Because I actually, before I started my business, my mom took some of her slides to a big box store and they didn't clean them before they scanned them. So it had a lot of dust particles in it, which shows up really well on slides. So I told her, Mom, give me the slides, I'll rescan it. And it ended up turning out a ton better. And it's because I bought a static brush. It's kind of the same sort of brush that you use on a record. I wear gloves now every time I handle photos. I have like photo cleaner. So that was one aspect I didn't understand before I became a photo manager. But yeah, I actually invested early in a camera scanning rig because it is very versatile in scanning negative slides as well as print media and larger media. But definitely like flatbeds are where I started. So like flatbeds are pretty accessible too, as well as the Epson Fast Photo is a really nice tool for if you just have clean 4x6s straight out of the package.
And we do a lot of again, just like and then this idea of do what you love and outsource the rest, like Bruce at the level that he's at with film and things like that, many of our members will outsource and we also have regional groups. So if you're looking like somebody, just a brand new member just asked a question in there in the chat saying that she was a new member and already here comes a client and they bring her home movies and she doesn't do home movie conversion, she can go to her regional group and find somebody who does that in her regional, within a short distance. And a lot of times our members then offer each other like we don't dictate how much that you give, but a lot of times people offer a professional discount, and so that's something that our members work out and decide between each other. So I also just dropped a link in there about we have a great camera scanning course for those that might be considering camera scanning that you can that is an additional fee. It's not included in membership. We do when we get into more deeper dive training that are we do have a fee for those because we compensate the educators, and creating really good courses and having somebody who's going to answer your questions and things is really important. So majority, we try to give you all the courses you need in the ongoing training to be successful. But as you get more involved in your business and your revenue is coming in enough that you can justify the cost, you can choose to specialize in, into more in-depth training.
One other question we had, Kathy, was are there people that provide framing services, and do we provide any instruction on that?
That's an interesting question. One of our most longtime members, Terry, owns I think 1 or 2 frame studios in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We could definitely connect you with Terry. And I think we have a new member who just joined from Sweden who does framing. I've always thought it's a natural fit, but we do not do instruction on framing. It does, it makes sense. When I first started my business, I was good friends with a framing store here, and I would go, we had a partnership where, because people were bringing in things, so he promoted my business through his store and I promoted his business through my business. So there is a natural fit, but one person in particular that I know for sure, Terry. Other than that, no, but you might be able to start something new. So.
And then Al wanted to know if people typically work out of a commercial space or if they like
Yeah.
if they need that to run their business.
I'd say most, I know both Bruce and Katie are at home, right? I think at this point, still about 80% of our members set up their own home studios, like whether it's in a, a basement or in a side office or something like that. But about 20% do have outside studios. When they start to hire employees, that's pretty common. So we do have members that have multiple employees, 5, 6, 10 employees, and are building really significant businesses. At that point, they usually will move into a studio space outside their home just for the ability to, they run out of space and things like that. But again, you don't have to, but in time, as you're, depending on what your goals are and what kind of business you want to run, that's certainly a good option. And, can get you out of your, you can kind of run out of space in your house if you start taking in. Another thing is not uncommon is people, once they love the fact that you'll take their photos away for them. And so a lot of our members show like these, these metal shelving where they'll have like, boxes of like photos, well labeled, this is, who the client is and things like that. And then there's a conversation about like, at what point do you have to, is your client required to come get their photos because they think, oh, well, you've got them and I don't need to come and get them again. So,
And then one other question, I think that was maybe the last one, is what's the main digital organizing or scanning, like the biggest growing segment?
You know what? That's a good question. We just did that survey and I'm going to answer that from the survey, which we're going to redo again because we had, this was so excellent to know. The number one, I should know this off the top of my head, but okay, the top digital photo organizing actually was and printed photo organizing were neck and neck. Scanning was second, photo book design was fourth. So really camera scanning then dropped below that. The transfer media was next. Full service doing everything was next. And then legacy, family history, genealogy was the kind of the last one in terms of that was 40% of our I know this was 350 members of our member community answered the survey. And so this is where we got the information about, the 80% of our members most of our members report 1 to 2 new clients per month. 80% get repeat clients. Quite a few of our members average, 3 to 5 clients per month. Again, some of this is we're going to redo this questionnaire too to know like what level do they want work, so some people are, if they're just doing it as a side gig or something, don't want that many, but so hopefully that answered your question. Carol, can you review rates, benefits for joining photo management training before the 20th? Can you review rates, benefits? I'm not sure, Carol, if I understand your question, if you can review the benefits, but a result of a copy of the survey results. You know what? I'm going to link it right here, right now in this chat. It's this I printed it, but we have it in a Google Doc here, and let me just pull that up, and you can grab that link and read the results. I actually also I have done, I think it's on YouTube Live, I've done a review of the survey results so that you can, again, this is where I mix this up all the time in terms of what we talk about. I'm sorry, I'm just looking to get that link for you. Is there another question while I'm looking?
I don't have another question. I was just going to go ahead and answer Caroline in the chat what the rate is. And then the bonus until the 20th is the Nix Play frame. You'll be entered to win one of those.
Oh, for the photo manager and training, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Here we go. Master folder, conference. Got lots of things in. Okay. Member demographics.
And I can also link the member directory for Derek as well.
Okay, here we go. This is the demographic study. Survey results. So it's a Google link and you can grab that if you want to review that. Again, the other last thing, we are, Derek, if you're a new member, yeah, when you log into the photo managers, there's a member directory in there. And thank you, Denise says a testimony she joined last summer, is impressed with the photo managers, the support and training. She's so glad you joined. Great, I'm glad you were here. And also, you know what, if we aren't answering all your questions, you can always send us an email to support@thePhotoManagers. We're happy to answer questions. We know that there's lots of questions. You can always set up a 15-minute call with me as well. I do send out links for that, so it's not uncommon. It's a phone call. We won't even do it on Zoom, but I understand why people have questions and stuff, so we try to answer them. And who are the primary clients for photo books, and what is their preferred software or services? That's a great question, Claudia. I think everybody that, families that travel is a big one. A lot of our members do ongoing travel albums for families that take amazing trips. Ongoing family yearbooks is not an uncommon one as well, that they'll manage their photos throughout the year and do a year-end photo book. I know many of our members have been really busy with that. They use a lot of the professional photographer softwares, whether it's InDesign, Fundy, Smart Albums. These are like, and then we also have great relationships with printing companies, where we have B2B companies that aren't traditional companies like a Shutterfly or something, a higher end album company that we also have relationships with. So hopefully that helps answer that question about that. And again, our primary demographic is going to be, and that's going to be in that survey, but it's going to be families that care deeply about photos and stories. I mean, it's definitely a higher income family sometimes to spend the money. That's why some of our members have I'll do it with you, I'll do it for you, or I'll teach you how to do it yourself. So that's not an uncommon business model as well, where our members will, like, for a certain amount of money, we'll get the client set up, teach them what to do, and then let them kind of take it from there. So there's different models. It just takes time to figure out all the different models that you're going to want to work. You're going to get started. It's a growing business. Most of our members by their 3rd or 4th year are really hitting the kind of revenue numbers that they want in the client base, and they're comfortable, and they're really doing a really great job. It's not a get rich quick overnight. You're not going to know everything in the first year. You're going to continually be learning and things like that. And the current rate, the rate, Brenda, to switch from photo manager training to pro is just it was $299 for pro. If you decide to switch, it's just the difference, so there's no additional fee. We're not going to charge you more when you make that decision to upgrade. So hopefully that answered everybody's questions. Thank you, Bruce and Katie, for your time. We really appreciate it. We'd love to welcome you to the Photo Managers. We will be sending a recording of the webinar. Also, go to our YouTube channel. Did we drop the link to the YouTube channel, Mary? If you could do that in there. All of our past recordings you can find them there, and these kind of conversations. So you can go back and listen again, and this will also be added to our YouTube channel, but we'll send you an email with the link to the recording in a few days. We send this off so we clean up some of the mess of it, and then we send it out, and we'll send it back to you. So again, thanks everybody. Thank you, Mary. Have a wonderful holiday, everybody. Stay warm or wherever you are, and we would love to welcome you. It's a meaningful work. It's growing. The world knows they need us. It's a worldwide phenomenon. We're not alone in being overwhelmed with these things. And it's wonderful. It's been a joy to grow this organization over the past 15 years. So thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.